So I recently shared swatches of this palette. This is the Morphe Forbidden Honey. And I had a lot of people comment on this middle shade right here. So I did go ahead and create a glam eye look today using it. I went for like a springy vibe. So I absolutely love this palette. It is a perfect color story for every day. And it's very complimentary, especially for spring. So if you want to see how I created this eye look, keep on watching. I did go ahead and already do my skincare. I primed my eyes with my Tarte Shape Tape because I did my brows first already. And then I have been using my skincare as my skin primer, but I did go in and use the Lancome. This is the UV Expert. It is a sunscreen, primer, and moisturizer in one because the weather's starting to get nicer. I am really trying to be more adamant about putting on my sunscreen, which is something I did not used to wear at all. This is the palette. I shared it on one of my socials and it's been getting a lot of hype. I absolutely love the color story of this palette, and a lot of people commented on this rose gold shade. So I definitely wanted to use that in today's look. So we're going to do a cut crease kind of glam look today. I think it's gonna go perfect. Spring is coming, so it'll definitely give spring vibes. We're gonna start off today with one of the lighter shades. We're gonna go in with this one. It's called Skin Contact. And I'm going in with a fluffy brush and I'm just going to pat that in there. And we're gonna start using this as our base. So we're just going in and bringing that into the outer edge and crease and buffing it up. We're using this as our transition shade and we're gonna build on it. So that has that smooth transition that we're looking for. Not gonna lie, I've been pretty excited to get back into YouTube's because it's been so long since I've done one. I literally have just been using my phone to record. I broke my other camera and I couldn't do YouTube content. So then I bought a new camera that I was gonna use temporarily for content, but the quality freaking sucked. I couldn't save the footage. The coloring was coming in and out. The volume wasn't consistent and I was just like, I can't use this. I can't. So I found a way to just buy another camera, a good quality one that I can use. All right, so next up I'm going in with this shade Sweet Sting right here, and we're going in with a new fluffy brush, and we're just gonna work on building up that pigment. So I'm going in and I'm gonna just start it in the outer edge and then work it. I'm bringing this brush a little bit lower than the first brush I used just to create that seamless blend between shades. So you're gonna start buffing it windshield wiper motions, just like that. And you can go in with that other brush too if you want to add more of that first color and just bring it slightly up. It'll help bring everything together. You got to find brushes that work for you. The key to blending is definitely in the brushes. Now the next thing I want to do is go in and deeper this outer corner a little bit to create that dimension, especially when we go and do the cut crease. So I'm going in with this shade right here, Dark Paradise, which is a brown tone. And you're gonna wanna go in with a brush that is definitely smaller because you're just gonna be focusing it right close to the lash line on the outer corner. So I picked this one. It's kind of fluffy. I'm bad with brush names. This one is Duke Hair. I got these off of Amazon. And this is number 21. But I consider this a packing brush. So it's got some firmness to it, but also a little fluff to help with your blend. So we're just gonna dip it into that shade Dark Paradise. And you're gonna focus it right along the lash line first, because that's where you want the majority of the pigment to be. And then I just use patting motions and create almost like a C shape. And you can see the difference it gives. So this is the brush we're gonna use for the cut crease. As you can see, it's got a nice circular shape to it, and it's very, very thin. So it'll allow it to help easily create the shape. And then we're gonna go in with Tarte Shape Tape, which is what I use to prime my eyelids. A lot of times you'll see makeup artists use like a Q-tip with some Vaseline or micellar water to clean the area prior to applying the concealer, just to lift any of the color and create a clean slate. I personally don't do that. I just go ahead and throw my concealer right on top of it and create the shape. I don't know why. Whenever I do the Vaseline or micellar method, I always tend to mess up my eye look. So I've learned to just go straight in with the concealer. So what I'm gonna do is use the back of my hand and we're gonna just dip this in. I take the concealer, I apply it right on my line, and then I look up and over. And as you can see, it creates where your crease should go. And then what you're gonna do is just take the rest of the concealer and start going from your inner corner and shaping to that crease. When you get to the part right here where the concealer ends, just lightly dab with your finger to help with the blending process. So you see how the crease shape is right now? It did go a little higher here than I want it to. I'm gonna show you how to actually fix that, because I always tend to fix my cut creases like this, and it also brings back some of the definition. So I'm gonna show you a trick. Take another thin brush. This one is a lot smaller and it has a fine point to it. So you're gonna go in and use your palette. Go in and use the middle tone first. So the middle tone is this one that we used. We're gonna dab it on there very lightly and just trace along where that cut crease is. Light hand pressure. You can see how it's redefining the crease already. Take the brush that you used to add the outer color and lightly buff between the two. Now for the fun part, we're gonna go in and add shimmers to the cut crease. And this is where the look is really gonna come together. So we're going in with Honey Blossom, which is that beautiful metallic rose gold in the middle. But look at that shimmer. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna start off using my finger, and I'm just gonna start at the lash line with it so I don't go over the cut crease shape. And just look at that. So you're gonna go in with another flat brush. This is a packing / cut crease brush. And now trace along, pat along the lash line, or the cut crease line. Do you see this shimmer? Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Okay, so now we're moving on to the base, which hopefully will make this kind of quick. But for my base, we're gonna go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow, because I do have normal, dry, oily combo. I am a weird mix. And then my Lancome Tried and True foundation. So I put a little bit of this just because of my dryness. So I am gonna go in with a wet beauty blender. This one is from e.l.f. I personally don't use a lot of foundation. I don't really have much skin issue. I get a couple breakouts here and there. They disappear rather quickly. But the only concern that I have with my skin is my dark circles. They're genetic. I've had them my whole life since I was like in 7th grade. So I just deal with them. All right, so now I'm just gonna take a small amount of the Lancome, literally just the tiniest amount. Not even, it's like a half a pump. And I just lightly apply it. I use LA Girl Pro. I use a mix of the yellow and the peach. I'm taking the small end of the beauty blender. I will go ahead and just pat that in. And it's literally like magic. I'm going with the Tarte Sculpt Tape, and I just do a little bit. I don't go excessive with my contour. I actually like a little more of a natural base. So I just put a dot right there and a dot right there. You don't want to bring it too low. You want to keep it, I always say aim for like right here by the ear. Go in with the liquid blush. This is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in shade Peach Perfect. And the blush I do take up to my temples. And then I do a little bit on my nose, but not too much. I usually just do the powder on my nose at the end. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit of concealer under the eye before we set. I'm just gonna do a little bit on the inner part where my dark circles are the darkest. This is the Tarte Creaseless Creamy. What shade is this? 22N Light Neutral. I have a ton of setting powders, like more than any person should. So I mix and match some of mine. So in this little blend right here, I have some of the ABH Banana, and then this is the Tarte Creaseless setting powder. This one's translucent, and I did buy the pink one. I have the pink one of this as well, but the pink one I actually don't like because it creates a very dark tone under my eyes. It's too dark for my skin tone. So I mix it with the yellow and a little bit of translucent to just get the shade that matches me. For the rest of my face, I just do a straight translucent powder, and this one is my tried and true Too Faced Born This Way translucent. So this is the one that I use on the rest of my face. Take your setting powder, setting powder is going to make your makeup last, and if you're oily, it's going to help with the shine and your makeup breaking down. Okay, so next step is we're gonna go in with the Benefit Hoola bronzer. So this stuff is very potent. Like, you don't need a lot of it. I am not a heavy contour person. I like bare minimum. So I'm just lightly patting it in, and then start by dabbing here first, and then slightly buff once you pat it. This is the ColourPop Swirled. I love this. This is just like a soft peachy tone. I love peachy tone blushes. They're my thing. So I'm going to go in with the same brush because this helps blend everything in so much better. And then just pat it on the apple of your cheeks first and bring it up. These are Kiss brand. I used to be on their PR, so I was gifted this set. This is called Volume Up, and I think it's gonna go perfect with today's eye look. Okay, so I put the lash glue on the lashes. I'm letting them set, and while that's setting, I am gonna go in back with the palette and just smoke my lower lash line. So I'm going in with the brush that I used for the packing shade, and we're going in with Sweet Sting, this one right here, which is the middle tone we used, and we're just gonna smoke out right here. First brush we used, and we're gonna just buff it out lightly. And then we're gonna go in with that darker shade, Dark Paradise, and the same brush and dip that in. This helps make the blend together a little bit better. And I'm just gonna focus it on the outer so far and see how it looks. Same thing with my liner. So we're going in with the cream gel liner in the shade Sunnyvale. This is from ColourPop. It is supposed to be like an 18-hour wear. I think it's this one. I hope it's this one. And then we're just gonna go on the outer edge of the eye and only go halfway. Very lightweight on the eye, like you don't feel them, but they give you the drama that you need. Okay, so once the lash glue sets, I like to personally use a lash curler post lash application and press them down. This helps to seal it to your lashes even more and curl them up so they're not like, especially bigger, heavier lashes, they're not weighed into your eyeball. And that is the lash style. Final is the lippy. I'm keeping it simple with the lippy, and this is Club Hopper. It is a NYX liner, and I'm just gonna lightly line my lip. I will say NYX has changed their lip formula, the lip liner formula. I've really been loving this. Is the Too Faced Lip Injection Maximum Plump. It literally is like perfect, and I don't even like it for the plumping effect because really I don't need it, but it doesn't burn like for me. But I also put Aquaphor on my lip. Gives my lips like a nice sheen, and it lasts. Like through eating and drinking, it doesn't like come off. So I almost use it as like a lip gloss. It's just like a nice glossy effect. Like, just look how pretty that is. So that is the tutorial on how I created this eye look. I absolutely love this look. It's just so simple yet glammy, and it just goes perfectly with anything. And on top of that, it complements my eyes so much. Morphe really upped their game with their palette. This one right here is the first palette I got from them in a long time, and I'm just impressed with almost every shade in this palette I've used so far. I have a couple more that I still have to work on, and they all perform beautifully. 10 out of 10 recommend this palette, and they have other ones of this version, different colors, that I really want to try. So those are next on my list. But yeah, I'll be working on more tutorials hopefully soon. I think a smoky eye will be the next tutorial to do on the list. But I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you for watching.